Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? What we're going to be talking about today, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but there was a massive explosion that ripped through the heart of downtown Youngstown yesterday afternoon, injuring 6 people and leaving 2 missing. And this is so far, okay? As of right now, there are no fatalities, but a man and a woman have not been found, and one of the missing may be a Chase Bank employee. Okay. Now, initial reports suggest that there may have been a gas leak that is to blame for this devastating incident, but witnesses described hearing a loud boom, followed by thick smoke that started to billow from the Chase Bank building, which is located on the ground floor of a building called Realty Building. Now, eyewitnesses, including a woman by the name of Deborah Flora, she is the executive director of Mahoning County Land Bank. Okay. She described the scene with harrowing clarity. She said, I heard the boom. And then she said, I saw dark smoke coming out of the side of Chase Building. She said it was really, really strong boom. Okay. So then we have security camera footage from neighboring businesses and things like that that captured this terrifying moment of the explosion that ripped through this structure, shattering windows of nearby buildings, sending debris flying and everything else. It's terrible. Yeah. So Chase Bank, it occupies the first floor of the building. But this building is 13 stories high. And up above, there's apartments that people live in. And then the neighboring apartment building, which is called International Towers, that was evacuated for safety reasons as well. So people were evacuated from the building, and all of the occupants and news crews they were ordered, they had to move over to what was called the Market Street Bridge. So about 7 people were taken to the hospital. Like I said, 2 are still considered missing. And Youngstown fire crews were working to locate them, but I don't know. Now, my last update that I found was like as of midnight. Okay. So, according to the Youngstown fire chief, his name is Barry Finley. Okay. Or Finley, it could be said either way, said that an evacuation order was issued for everyone within a 365-degree what do you want to say, circumference, okay, around the entire building. He said, we were also telling everyone in the building has been accounted for. But then first responders had to have the area blocked off, and then the bomb squad came in, as well as a structural engineer to the scene. And then the Mahoning County Emergency Management Agency, or EMA, they took over the scene. Now, sources are indicating that the construction was underway in the basement of the Chase Bank building when workers heard a hissing sound, and then all of a sudden they smelled gas. So rumors throughout the day were that a natural gas explosion happened at 2:45 in the afternoon, and that it could be felt in other downtown buildings because that's how immense this thing was. But it's not yet known what actually caused the explosion. This is only an educated guess, I guess you could say. And all that is known is that there was an explosion and it did a lot of damage to the bottom of the building. Now, fascia, and that's FASCIA, beams, can now be seen in the building, meaning that the building has lost structural integrity, and it will now require the owners of the building to hire engineers to check that out in depth to know how serious the building has now been damaged. So the people inside the Realty Tower building and the International Towers building, which is next door, everybody was evacuated. But the International Towers residents were allowed to return at about 6:30 last night. As for the Realty Towers, no one is allowed to go back inside the 13-story building for right now. The building has condominiums and apartments in the upper floors, like I said. And it also blew out windows in the buildings across the street, which is called Federal Street. The entire first floor of Federal Plaza on that side and East Federal side suffered extraordinary damage. The worst of it apparently is near the northeast corner of the building, where the concrete heaved up and then came back down. Yeah. A man that was sitting at the base of a monument on Federal Plaza in front of the building that exploded, dust and blood came up onto his face, and people stopped and offered him water. Imagine that. You're just sitting there, and then boom. That's scary, you know? So anyway, if I find out anything more about this, about what caused it, I'll be sure to let you guys know, okay? All right, guys, listen, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless.